Hi guys, welcome to another session. So here in this video, we will be talking about one topic from Hindu editorial, which I feel very important for your GS paper 3 and your GS paper 2 also, governance related and security related and also science and tech related. It's related to quantum technology. So what I'll do is I'll share the PPT and then we will get into the discussion. Okay. So let's start with this. So this is actually the topic. The quantum challenge, administrative reform is essential for India to make advances. So this is from, you can go through this editorial, which is very important. That's why I've taken this. So science and technology connected, and then governance reforms, and then the national security related. So these are the areas it actually covers, right? So GS paper 3, if you look at the UPSC syllabus, the relevance, you quantum technology and its applications, and then cybersecurity related, and then indigenization of technology. So these way it is directly connected. Again, if you look at GS paper 2, administrative reform related and government policies and intervention connection is there. So they can either ask you in GS paper 3 or GS paper 2, or even they can ask you in essay the role of technology in national development. Otherwise, they can ask you in interview also. So this is a highly relevant topic, and that's the reason why I choose to take this topic for this discussion. So if you look at the editorial, that's something which you need to read, but the points which you are not supposed to miss is what I'll be discussing or added here. So the scientists from IIT Delhi and DRDO basically demonstrated a quantum key distribution over 1 kilometer of free space. And then that basically enabled secure communication, which is immune to traditional eavesdropping, as basically this quantum mechanics reveals any interception attempt if it happens instantly. Okay, and then quantum computing disruption. So the existing encryption that relies on very complex math, but quantum computers can potentially crack that, and then quantum cybersecurity can, future-proof communication by offering theoretically unbreakable encryption. So this one also will look at national quantum mission and the core administrative challenges. So the mission, it was launched in 2023, and the budget, the outlay is around 6,000 crores. So quantum communication is one of its four key points. Okay. Now the administrative challenge, if you see, mainly the delayed fund disbursal. Okay, and in just-in-time funding, that basically hurt the continuity of the research. That's a normal problem. And then lack of single window clearance, then the red tapism, paperwork, all these adding to the project delays. And then dependency on the foreign hardware and software. So especially if you look at this cryostats and sensors and the software stacks. Okay, so then again, one interesting point is this. Here, this is not complete actually. Here I was basically making a comparison. Yeah, it is not exactly covered here. So basically, what the slide is talking about is, there is a big difference if you make a comparison with other countries, right? If you see this one, China is 20 times than the budget that we have. So we discussed about 6,000 to 8,000 crore. That's the India's commitment, but China, it's 20 times more. And if you look at US, it's basically 5 times higher than India. So their commitment is around 30,000 crore for US and 1 lakh crore for China. So because of that, again, the scientists are facing the short-term contracts. That is one of the challenge, and lack of timely procurement is another challenge. And the government pay package, the weak government pay package is also there. Okay, so these are what I have actually mentioned here. So this is India, this is China, this is US, and this is China. That's what I wanted to discuss, because this is 6,000 crore, this is around 30,000 crore, and then this is around 1 lakh 10,000 crore. But that's not complete over there. Okay, now let's look at science and tech part. So there can be question related to this also, the quantum key distribution, QKD. So it's a major leap in quantum communication, and India's success in this domain that can position it as a global tech leader, especially in secure communication system for defense, space, and strategic affairs. So you can write all these. And then QKD via satellite that could ensure nationwide secure networks that will be important for critical infrastructure like banking, defense, and governance. Okay, and then if you look at this area, the governance and the administrative reforms and the internal security part. So governance and administrative reform. So if you are successful in this quantum tech, it's not just about the scientific breakthrough. It's basically helping for efficient governance, resource mobilization, and the institutional reforms, right? So that's also uh, a part of it. So then again, the lack of synchronized administrative and scientific ecosystem, that's a major drag on India's ambitions. So all these are there in the editorials, go through that. And then this basically calls for removing the bureaucratic bottlenecks, increasing ease of doing research, and matching the global pay structure for retaining the talent. Coming to internal security, so increasing cyber warfare threats, securing the communication through quantum encryption is a national security imperative also. And then QKD can render communication eavesdrop proof, something which I've discussed in the second slide, and then offering a tactical edge over the adversaries. Now, the critical perspective also you can give if they ask a question related to this in mains. In case if it is analyzed, then you need to write both the sides. So critical analysis also you need to write both the sides. So you can say that merely increasing the funding without streamlining bureaucratic processes, that may not lead to desired outcomes. So if you are doing something, it has to be on both the ends. And then public-private partnership, the stronger collaboration with Indian startups and open source software development, that could reduce the foreign dependency. So the problem now is we are reliable too much on the foreign components, right? The hardware and software. I have mentioned about that, cryostats and sensors and everything. So again, if you look at this editorial, that basically hint at a concern that India has cutting edge talent, but the system that basically underutilize or misutilize or mismanage the talent. So efficient management of the talent is also required, and there is also a need to build a quantum ready workforce, including the dedicated programs at IITs and ITs. These are suggestions you can give. Now, what you can do is try to attempt this question. So here I have given a question that discuss the role of quantum technology in ensuring national cybersecurity. So what is the role of quantum technology, and then what are the challenges India face in developing indigenous quantum capabilities? So we have mentioned about this. The fund is a problem, bureaucratic delays is a problem, and then the dependency on the foreign countries, the other countries for the hardware, software is again a problem. Not utilizing the talent is all those we have mentioned. The challenges I have covered, and I've discussed all these areas also. Okay, so here you can define the quantum technology and its importance in cybersecurity, the way we started off with, and then you talk about this IRDO scientist, their success in QKD, and then the potential application in governance, defense, and space, which I've mentioned, and then talk about the challenges like the funding gaps, administrative delays, and the foreign dependencies. And in conclusion, you emphasize the need for synchronized tech policy execution for the strategic autonomy. So it's a very good editorial, beautiful editorial, and it is actually showing you a model like the way you integrate technology and governance. In fact, both paper 3 and paper 2 is covering. So perfect UPSC mains topic. Okay. So go through this, guys, and thank you so much for attending the session. See you in the next video.